We're in Bury St Edmunds, Suffolk, which was once home to one of England's most important Benedictine abbeys that housed the remains of the Anglo-Saxon king and martyr St Edmund. Today, you can walk among the ruins of this once grand abbey church, but around the ruins can be seen impressive remains, including the original medieval church of St James, which was made Suffolk's cathedral in 1914. Then beside the cathedral is the Norman Tower, which was once the principal gateway into the Great Abbey Church and serves today as the Cathedral Bell Tower. But what I want to show you lays inside one of England's largest parish churches, which was once part of the Abbey, St Mary's, or to use its medieval title, the Church of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary.
So this is the single carved cadaver of John Baret. He was a wealthy cloth merchant and a land and property owner who died in 1467. But he designed this in 1463 and it was situated elsewhere in his chantry chapel. All that remains of the chantry chapel is the amazing ceiling. It's absolutely unique. What we find is his monogram and also little tiny mirrors surrounded by stars.
It shows him 3/4 size and laying on an elaborately carved burial shroud engraved with script. At his head it reads in translation, "Now I sleep in dust," a variation of chapter 7 verse 21 from the book of Job. This Jobian theme continues along the edge of the burial shroud. "Lord, do not judge me by my deeds. Nothing I have done is worthy of your sight. Therefore I beseech your majesty that you, God, wipe away my iniquity." By his head, on the stone, it reads in vernacular, "He that will sadly behold me with his eye may see his own morrow and learn for to die," with the words continuing onto the long side of the tomb finishing with the sentiment, "So endeth each creature called John Baret. Therefore you people in way of charity, with your good prayers, I pray you help me."
Here we can see that the memorial is in part an entreaty to God, but it was also a didactic memento mori, informing those who could read of their fate. But of course most people couldn't read, but the symbolism of the cadaver was enough.
The monument was conserved by the Victoria and Albert Museum in 2003, where evidence was found not only of flesh-coloured paint, as with the Keystone example, but also of green and red polychrome on the sculpted veins. With muscle tension carved into the limbs and veins prominent, Baret's effigy showed him in a liminal space, not fully dead nor fully alive.
This liminality was common in imagery of purgatory, both textual and visual. From Dante's Inferno to vernacular tales of revenants, the dead were sentient.
They suffered physically for their sins and occasionally returned to the world of the living to inform others to live a good life and so reduce the time and suffering they would spend getting their souls ready for God. Baret wrote an extraordinarily long will, running to 30 pages, which detailed not only the memorial, but his funeral service. Every detail of his death and this memorial was meticulously planned. As much as Baret was keen on encouraging prayers for his soul, the tiny figure of Baret and the Esses livery of the Lancastrian kings, given in recognition of personal service, made a statement about his social status. He was a gentleman of the household of the Abbot of Bury St Edmunds and lay associate member of the Abbey, which had a number of prominent members, including King Henry VI and William Delapole and his wife, who we will come to in a little while, as she has a carved cadaver.
Baret was clearly a man of great social significance and was a friend of the monk poet John Lydgate, who brought the Parisian dance of death to English shores.
As such, Baret would have been very familiar with French mortuary symbolism. But his cadaver effigy is not the first we find in this country, so it was not via Lydgate that this genre of memorial appeared.